So we will start briefly in a few minutes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's program about how to become data scientists and the learning about Magnimind programs, bootcamps that we are providing. So my name is Murat. I'm a co-founder of Magnimind Academy, as well as Stanford scientist. I come from physics, biophysics, bioengineering background. I've been working on data science and machine learning for years. And today, Dr. Ceyran, he's also co-founder of Magnimind Academy, where he's gonna talk about, he's gonna start today's session. His background is, he has a great data analytics, data science background. He's a faculty in San Jose State University. And prior to that, he's been faculty in Kaisei University in Korea and Santa Clara University. And he's been doing several AI in healthcare and AI in medicine projects at Stanford University. So I will let him start the first part and I will take the second.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Baday. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar that we are going to try our best to give you some information about, if you're interested in data science career, some information about the landscape of data science today. And then a little bit more info actually about our programs and maybe specifically our program on the internship program, the mentorship program. So let me share my screen quickly, and then please feel free to ask any questions. So we're not too crowded today. So just feel free to post your questions on Q&A or from chat. And by the way, feel free to post your LinkedIn account to connect with other participants. So let me share my screen. Okay, I'm going to okay, so I hope you guys are seeing my presentation. Let me move this aside so that I can see. Okay, so when we say data scientist, we are looking at someone who has or who's supposed to have some background from different domains. So when I say someone someone as data scientist, this person supposed to have some background or some knowledge on mathematics, I mean heavily on statistics, foundations of probability, and algorithms. So let's call it machine learning algorithms. And the same person is going to have skills in terms of coding, So some of the companies may require, not all of them, but some of the companies may require, data structures, and then be able to solve easy to medium lead type of questions, again, expected from a software engineer, right? And of course, skill set to communicate what you find, right? So if you are able to create nice graphs and plots, and then be able to communicate your findings to an audience. So these are really desired characteristics of a data scientist. So if you look at from another angle, I'm gonna specifically focus on data scientist and maybe machine learning engineer. So when we say, again, data scientist, one component is software, another component is machine learning, and a little bit of and also data visualization. Now, on top of that, as data scientists, you need to also know, or machine learning engineer, you need to know about the business context. So you cannot work on a project or try to solve a problem if you don't know the domain, or if you don't have any idea about the context or business context, right? So you need to know the business context so that you can find the best features, or you can create new features or variables to solve the problem, or find some pattern in the data set. So data science and data scientist has been like data scientist position, has been very popular in the last maybe 6 to 7 years. So I remember when we first started these workshops and webinars in the Silicon Valley, at the time it was mostly face-to-face. So there was really a big excitement around data science, and hype around data science. So since then, we still have data science and data scientist positions highly desirable. The average salary for a data scientist has not decreased since then. It's actually slightly increased. There is a steady increase in the salaries for data scientist positions. So the average base salary, which is excluding the additional bonuses or the 401k matching. So if you just exclude them and just focus on the base salary is around 120. Of course, this is going to change from one city to another, maybe one country to another. I'm going to give brief statistics on salaries across different cities in the United States and also countries. So over the time, as I said, the salary, data scientist salary has increased. So we have been doing this in the last maybe 5 years, and there's a steady increase in data scientist salaries. In the last 1 year, maybe 1 or 2 years, there is this a little bit flattening has happened, and then you might have heard about some of the big companies. Layoffs happening in some of the big companies, right? And data scientist positions were not immune to that. So that also included data scientist positions. So when you compare data scientist salary with other positions, other similar positions, I would mostly focus on, say, the data engineer or machine learning engineer. You see that data scientists on average, data scientist salary is at the upper end of the similar positions to data scientist position. So on average, it's going to change from 70 to 182. So the range is really large, but if you just focus on the median point is going to be around 120. Again, if you look at the trend, data scientist position, as well as similar positions like data engineer, machine learning, as you see, or software engineer, they all are moving. There's a really high correlation among these positions, so they move more or less in the same direction. So if you check the job postings, right? So some of the job postings are requiring experience, and then some of them simply hire at entry level. So if you want to know how much of a difference it makes as you become more senior in your position, actually in data science position, seniority is bringing is actually you're going to see a big jump as you become more senior in this position. So you can be when you're an entry-level data scientist, if your salary on average is 120, the moment you are mid-level, let's say you have experience around 4 to 5 years, right? So your salary is going to increase to maybe 150 to 60. And then again, a senior data scientist, maybe 9 or 10 plus years of experience. So your salary is going to increase proportionally. So if you look at the cities, right, across the United States, and also I picked some cities from Canada and from Europe because we have students, colleagues from around the world. Okay, so you see that San Francisco area, Bay Area, is providing on average the highest salary, which is expected. We have most of the companies, really large companies here, and also, the living cost is very high, right, in the Bay Area. But as you see, more or less, in other parts of the world, and including cities in the United States, the average salary is not too different. If you go to Europe, say to Germany or to France, in France, the average salary is slightly lower, but if you go to London or Germany, right? So I know I have friends in UK, in London. So data scientist salaries are not too different, but I would say the best salary for data scientist positions can be found in the United States. Okay, so which are the top companies? You might think about Google or Microsoft, I don't know, Apple. Yes, these are the top companies giving the highest compensation. But actually, if you just dig in, so you will see that for many years, actually, Netflix has been the champion, right? In terms of providing the highest compensation. I'm not saying the others are low, but Netflix has been sitting at the top of this actually for a while. So I put some of the companies providing the largest compensation on the left, and also I picked some companies, like different companies, mid-range compensation on the right, just to give you some idea about what these companies are providing in terms of total compensation. So when it comes to what kind of questions, what do you need to know if you want to obtain a position in one of these top companies? So what kind of questions these guys are asking in the interviews? What should I get prepared for, right? So then the average data scientist position requires a good knowledge of statistics. Some companies may not require SQL, but mostly they are going to require SQL. So you need to have SQL. SQL is an essential actual skill set for a data scientist. They're going to ask you to know either Python or R, but I think Python is almost the standard in the industry now. So yeah, Python, you need to know Python. You need to know about machine learning algorithms. Maybe you don't need to know too advanced. You don't need to have an advanced knowledge of algorithms, but they're going to ask you to know in detail at least the basic ones like linear regression or logistic regression. So maybe random forest, right? They might ask questions on XGBoost, maybe, right? But they don't require you. They don't require you a deep knowledge of algorithms. You're not going to develop an algorithm, a cutting edge algorithm. So you need to know how to select and implement an algorithm for different situations. So in terms of coding, they may ask you some simple coding questions. Some companies may ask you, can you, some positions between data scientist and machine learning engineer, they may ask you to create the linear regression model from scratch, right? So can you create a class where you have fit and then, I don't know, predict and then score methods and then maybe throw in some attributes. So can you do that? So I'm just talking about a little bit, this can be considered as an outlier in this case, but mostly they're going to ask you how to manipulate data, if you can write a function, using that function, if you can solve a certain statistics problem. So the big companies are going to ask you such questions in terms of coding. So on the left-hand side, you have the data scientist position. On the right-hand side, you have machine learning engineer. So from time to time, if you are new into area, you might be confused about what is data scientist, what is machine learning engineer. Machine learning engineers are required to know more, have more advanced knowledge of the algorithms as well as coding. So they are actually engineers. So I just put these two together so that we have a good understanding of what is data scientist and what is required from a machine learning engineer. So this is Google, by the way, Google interview guides. So If you look at Amazon, I know Amazon is going to ask you SQL problems. So Google, in the last maybe couple of years, maybe we're not asking for data scientists. SQL, maybe they changed it. I don't know. So maybe they changed it. So they are. I know that they are. I know that they maybe they're grouping data scientist positions for the near future. But Amazon is asking SQL questions. So when it comes to SQL, you need to know SQL, and then I would suggest and highly recommend solving the similar problems using SQL and Python's Pandas library. So can you solve the same problem using SQL and Pandas? So because you may not know whether they're going to ask you to solve the problem using SQL or Pandas, so you need to solve the same problem using both. Again, the same. What is that? We see a similar trend, right? So you need to know statistics, you need to know basics of machine learning, SQL and Python. Again, when it comes to machine learning engineer, you need to know more about algorithms and coding. Okay, so I'm going to pass a little bit fast. So you're going to see very similar trends in these big companies. I also put Walmart in here and some different sectors like banking sector in here. And these are some of the job postings I picked 3 weeks ago, just to let you know what kind of skills the companies may be looking for when you're looking at data scientist positions. As you see, fluency in SQL, and then you need to know proficiency in either Python or R. Again, experience with some of the companies say experience implementing machine learning techniques, including regression, and the ensemble methods, which I mentioned, right? XGBoost or random forest. So, and then some statistical background in terms of what hypothesis testing, ANOVA, right? So these are some of the really basic skills that may be required from a data scientist. Again, I just picked 3 other job postings from 3 companies, which you may not know too much about, right? But as you look at the skill sets, again, they may be keeping the skill set a little bit wider to capture more talented people. But this may never discourage you from applying if you are missing some of the skills. But I just wanted to see across different postings, there are some similarities, right? So they ask you to know basics of machine learning, statistics, and programming language, and SQL. So what should you do? Should you just sit down and study yourself, which you can, okay? Or should you just take course from a bootcamp, or should you register for a master's program? So these are all different options, right? So there is so much of material available on the internet. You can definitely sit down and then study yourself. And I don't think you're gonna miss anything. So everything is up there. So people uploaded fantastic tutorials, coding tutorials, machine learning tutorials. Almost everything is on the internet. So you can find the material and study yourself. Well, if you want to get motivated and seek guidance and then be on the track, so you may need some support, which most of us need support actually. Then you may think about registering for a bootcamp or a master's degree. Then what is the difference between these two? Master's degree is going to give you a diploma, which may help you in the long run. Bootcamps are really in fast pace, so they may give you the knowledge, or they may teach you in maybe 15 to 21 weeks about many different things. So the goal is preparing you for the job market in a short amount of time. Okay, so you have to actually put some effort and then intensified effort actually if you are registering for a bootcamp. Okay, let me go. So again, if you wrap up, so you need to know programming, you need to know about databases, specifically SQL, and you need to know basics of machine learning. And some companies may ask you to know about data structures and some knowledge about how to use Git and maybe have a GitHub account, right? Okay, so before I stop, I just want to shares a couple of things that based on my experience, my interactions with students along the years. So if you really want to learn data science, get into this area, please, first of all, pick one programming language, all right? So do not try to learn a lot of things at once, altogether simultaneously. It's going to be very difficult for you. So if you want to learn Python, it's okay. If you want to learn R, it's okay, but pick one of them and stick to it, okay? Learn the coding and manipulating data, training models with a language, with one of the languages first, then you can learn the second one. So why do you want to be a data scientist? What is your motivation? Be very clear about that. This is not an easy journey. It requires a lot of effort. You have to spend your weekends, your weeknights. So maybe you have to take time off from your family. Maybe if you are working, right? So it's going to be difficult for you. So that's why you need to really clear about your motivation. So this is not just let me see what is out there. So you need to be very clear about the motivation. As I said, there is so much material available, so many tutorials. I see students being unfortunately stuck to this tutorial carousel and making this round and round trip, never actually starting to work on a real project. So always feeling like I'm missing something. Let me learn this, let me learn that. And then from jumping from one tutorial to another, most of them not finished. So please, as much as you can, okay? Stick to 1-2 courses as you stick to one language, okay? So there are a lot of courses available. People design these courses for you. Stick to one course, learn it from A to Z, and then go to another course, and then go to. Do not make these mistakes. Let me share this with you. I don't know if you guys have not listened to me before. So I always share this with my students whenever I start a new course. So this is, and from time to time, I update this figure. So this is showing the number of YouTube viewers. Again, I don't know if you heard about Andrew Ng. So he's a very well-known former Stanford professor. He's a machine learning guru, and then he's the co-founder of Coursera. So his machine learning classes are available at YouTube. He actually taught them in using MATLAB, actually Octave, and then I think the second version is in Python. So what I did is I picked his first lectures, like lecture, Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Module 1, Module 2, Module 3. Each module has a number of lectures in it. I just picked the number of viewers of these lectures and then plotted. So as you see, the first lecture, 1.7 million people watched it. And when you go to the second one, it drops to 600K. As you advance through the lectures, you see the number of viewers is declining sharply. So this tells us something, right? So people start looking at some course, trying to watch a series of YouTube lectures, and after a while they lose their motivation. Either they lose their motivation, they leave the area, or they switch in between courses. So after watching a couple of lectures, they go to another lecture. I see a lot of students, again, making circles around linear regression. So not going beyond that. So please make sure that you stick to one course and then finish it. You will see that in the long run, it's going to be more beneficial for you. These are my personal suggestions. Please pick a small set of resources. Do not be a victim of, curse of dimensionality. Okay, pick a small set of resources. And above all, please be part of a community. So this community can be a couple of friends where you learn together. It can be a boot camp, again, a community. It can be a master's program. So be part of a community and then get motivated with other people. Okay? If possible, finding a mentor is going to help you tremendously. Somebody who is already in the field, experienced, might help you, hold your hand, right? So it may be difficult to find one. People are really busy, but if you can, it's going to be extremely helpful in terms of motivation, maybe having your resume checked, even being part of a network, so that maybe receiving some reference, right? And as I said, this is not an easy journey. You might be ready to sacrifice your weekends and weekdays. If you are totally new into an area, you need to spend quite a bit of time to learn about data science. So some of the books that you might be interested in. So Python Data Science Handbook is free. You can find this book in the GitHub account of the author. It's free. And then I think if you want to learn Python, use it in data science, this is a must book. So you have to, I mean, 100%. You need to go through the chapters of this book. It's very, very fantastic book. Another book that I highly recommend is Hands-on Machine Learning textbook. It's very well written. I really enjoy reading it. The first part is machine learning. The second part is deep learning. If you want to know how these machine learning models are developed from scratch, I suggest reading this Python machine learning book. I mean, it grows in you. So this book is it grows on you. I really like it. As I read more, I really enjoy it. So this introduction to machine learning with Python may not be known too much, but it's author Andreas Müller. He used to teach at Columbia, I think, and then he is I think, one of the developers of scikit-learn. So again, the book is very clear. It's very easy to read. And another thing is you can find most of the topics in this book at scikit-learn's sklearns. It's an open source library, machine learning library. You can find most of the chapters of this book, not one-to-one copy, but most of the chapters as tutorials at scikit-learn's website. So I really enjoy reading this book. Again, it's very easy to read, and it gives you the basics. Okay? All right, so there are two, maybe, what if I have absolutely no math background? Yeah, so machine learning requires some math background. So you need to have some background in linear algebra. You need to know a little bit about maybe calculus, or let's say pre-calculus and some calculus, to understand how we optimize the models. But then to start with data science, you don't need to have really deep, I mean, math background. I'm not saying that you don't need. I'm saying that you don't need a very deep math background. You can learn as you move forward. You can learn about concepts as you move forward, learning machine learning, okay, or data science. But definitely you will see that you're going to be dealing with vectors and matrices, matrix transformations, optimizations. These will all, so taking the derivative of this with respect to that, so the instructor may suddenly say that. You need to understand what that means. If not, maybe you might spend a couple of hours to study what that means. So do not wait for learning the math before you start machine learning. So if you graduate from college, right, so you might have some math background. I don't think you are totally clueless, right? You might have some math background, and then just start learning data science. Then you're gonna learn on the way. Okay. Let's see. Any questions? Anything that are there any recommended sites for finding communities for data science ML? I'm not studying as part of a course. I'm using online tutorials, maybe Discord, Reddit, etc. So Luke, I think Twitter is doing a very good job. So again, there are so many venues that you can look at, but I myself, I'm following authors of these books, for example, right? And then there are so many people who are very, excited about posting material daily. So you just following 30 to 40 Twitter accounts may help you get motivated, stay on the track, and then be aware of the latest developments in the field. And then you might see a lot of simple postings. So somebody's just simply teaching you how to slice a data frame using pandas. Another person might give you a clue on solving a simple SQL problem. So daily reading those tweets will help you learn new stuff as well as be motivated. Yeah. Again, there might be other venues, but I'm using Twitter. All right. What can you tell us about your bootcamp and what you offered? So that part, I think Dr. Baday is going to talk about it. Okay. Any questions at this point that I can answer now, or I'm going to leave it now to Dr. Baday so he can give more information about our bootcamp and what we get to offer to you. Okay. Let me start here.
Sure. So let me So first of all, when you have questions, please ask those questions in Q&A session. So it will help us to track those questions, okay? And I will start talk about what we offer as a Magnimind Academy. So we actually started as a data science specialized bootcamp. So if you want to be data science, I should say this is the most special bootcamp we have. And all our co-founders, all our faculty and teaching crew have data science focus and data science background. And when we started, we analyzed many bootcamps. We analyzed the master's program, postgraduate program of top schools in the United States. And from that, we have really optimized a good programs for data science. So we have two programs. One is full stack data science program, where we teach from beginning of data science. It is for people for beginner to intermediate level data science. And the second one is mentorship/internship program. This is for intermediate to advanced level people. So now I will share the screen and tell you how this works. And Dr. Jiran can add if I miss anything, please. Okay. So here, this is like a tentative schedule of full stack data science. So what we teach here, you have a first class structure. So you will have lectures we start with teaching stat math, Python and data analytics, SQL, machine learning, so that you can have a good fundamental knowledge of data science. Throughout these classes, you learn all what you need to be data scientist. And then later we start the projects. So we have homeworks and projects throughout those 10 weeks. But still we have more key capstone projects. And those projects to get you good hands-on experience with. So we have instruction and fundamentals part. We have projects part with mentors, and we have career coaching part. So we also have a part to help you to get a job. In terms of we provide interview practices, interview Q&A sessions, and career coaching. So we help in that sense that there are two aspects. One, we teach you how to do the job when you get the job. Second, we help you to get the job, because so many times interview process is just different than when you do the job. You may pass the interview, may not able to job, or you can do the job really well, but you may not able to pass the interview. We support both for the full stack. And second part is, this is full stack program is starting this week. If you are interested in the program, which I mentioned it here, is 2,500 upfront fee. It's 15 weeks, and it's starting this week. So you may send us an email if you need to learn more information. We want to get you in the program. And one thing in all on our programs, especially full stack data science, you get to really know at least 6 to 7 our teachers, mentors. So it's a great exposure, great support than any other bootcamp. So you will interact with all this our teaching crew, and to have such support. So this is for full stack program. So mentorship/internship program is more project-based training. So you don't. So we expect you to know the machine learning before coming to program. And we get a lot of students to mentorship program for other bootcamps, even master's students we receive for mentorship, or master graduates from data science. So people don't really have a chance to do work on projects. So a lot of jobs nowadays, I mean, just training is possible everywhere. You can get from YouTube, as Dr. Jerem mentioned, you can get from Coursera and all that. But getting a project experience and actual project experience has been really missing in many people's lives. And the mentorship support or support in your coding, support in your projects has been missing. So we provide that one. So you will have a company experience other than Magnimind. You have also training during that program. So that's also 15 weeks. And there's a different payment schedule. Again, so we expect you to have intermediate to advanced level for this program. And this is for mentorship program. Different payment schedules are here. And there's also in our website. And I go more in detail on this program. First 6 weeks, we have extensive project training on sample projects. So you do 5-6 projects in first 6 weeks. And then later you work on a main project with our affiliated companies. So you're basically recruited as an intern to one of those companies. You work on different projects. The projects varies in different fields. We have a lot in AI healthcare, AI medicine, and a lot in AI in finance, AI in marketing, AI in social media. We have also here and there different companies are interested in different projects. So we also provide those resume coaching, industry insights, interview Q&A. We do also the support and mentorship program. In all programs, we connect people with recruiters. Okay, let me see if you have any questions.
Dr. Baday, may I just add a couple of things?
Sure.
So for this mentorship program, as Dr. Baday explained, it's a 15 weeks long program. The first part of the program has 3 modules. So machine learning and then NLP and deep learning. Again, as Dr. Baday mentioned, the first 6 weeks, we are going to give you actually at least 6 projects. For example, for machine learning, we are going to give you a set of projects and then ask you to choose 2 of them. For example, a project can be on manufacturing, another project can be on retail, another project can have some financial data, so another project can be about clinical data. So depending on your choice, you're going to work with your mentor 1 week per project, right? And then normally we would run a survey here. I don't know if there is anyone here who actually worked with someone that person, the mentor or somebody else, went through your code line by line. I think it's going to make a huge difference in terms of how you are thinking, how you are writing your code, how you are approaching the problem. Someone else is looking at your code and giving you feedback line by line. I think this one of the distinctions, distinctive attribute of this program is your mentor is going to go over your code line by line, the 6 weeks. The following 9 weeks after the first 6 weeks, now we are going to be working on a 9-week long industry project. And what is that project? I'm not sure now. So it's going to be, when the time comes, you will have the project, and that will give you that experience which you may need to find a good job.
So just give you more detail on that 9 weeks part. So you will be you'll be treated as a unicorn data science. You'll be given a project and you have to deal with it. This is you'll be supported by project manager, program managers. You will have a support crew team, but the idea is in that 9 weeks, you're gonna survive yourself as a data scientist and do full pipeline real projects in a company. So that's what develops people, and that's what recruiters are looking for in this experience. And that's what that's actually one thing that we have limited space for this mentorship internship program. And then we have a joint programs with, if you're interested in both. So we have a different schedules. If you're interested, you send us an email. We have a different payment programs for full stack plus mentorship programs. So you can get both. So yeah, please let us know if you have any questions, and happy to answer. We can schedule a short calls.
Dr. Bade, one more thing maybe we can add for mentorship program. As you mentioned, we need a prior machine learning knowledge. But we also understand that you may not remember everything. You may not know some of the algorithms. It's okay. You may not remember what hypothesis testing is. Suddenly in the project, you may need that, right? It's okay. So what we are doing is we are not going to give you live classes on machine learning. That is full stack program, live classes. But we are going to open our platform, which will give you recorded sessions. So you can watch the recordings of previous courses and then just refresh yourself in terms of machine learning or statistics. But again, not live. So live courses, live teaching is only for full stack program.
Yeah. So we hope those information is helpful. I shared our emails for info@magnimindacademy.com and my email if you have any questions. Happy to schedule a meeting to understand your needs in depth if you're interested in. And I hope the session helped. Hope to see you in our future programs. We're gonna keep continuing our meetup programs, a lot of free events, lectures, mini boot camps. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.